Hi, it's Matthew Graves from Quick Start Coach with your Wednesday Foundation session. Wednesdays are where we focus on learning the strategies and foundations that we can use to build our businesses online and offline. What I teach in the Quick Start Coach mentoring program and via the free videos and email and social media that I post online are different ways of thinking about things. Successful marketer or online business owner looks at things differently than one who's struggling. They see opportunity where others see problems. They see solutions where others can't figure out what to do. It isn't that they're better or smarter. They've just been exposed to and remember the different frameworks and learning that gives them a door to open when others just see a blank wall. That's why it's important to attend these sessions or watch the replays and to do it more than once. I have a list of 5 to 10 books that I read at least once a year. It might seem repetitive or that I'm not exposing myself to new ideas, but that would be incorrect. These books have the core knowledge that forms the foundation for many other authors and thought leaders. Every time I read Influence by Robert Cialdini or Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz, I get new ideas on how to apply the concepts of the book. The reason for this is because marketing is applied psychology as it applies to understanding and influencing other people to connect with you and buy your products. Now, self development, what we talk about on Mondays, is also applied psychology as it applies to influencing yourself to do the work necessary, keep a positive mindset, deal with challenges, and keeping focus on what's actually moving the needle in your life and your business. Since both of these critical skill areas are based on human psychology, they don't change that much. What motivates me to work today is pretty much the same as 35 years ago when I discovered that I controlled my own mindset, meaning, and motivation. What convinced people to buy today is the same as decades ago when the sales Bibles like Breakthrough Advertising or Influence were originally written. Since we're dealing with humans and trying to get them to take action to buy our products or sign up for our opportunities, we also have to look at why they don't buy from us. Luckily, I learned the 6 reasons that people don't buy. Yes, there are only 6 reasons. Every objection someone could have to buying falls into one of these 6 areas. Today, we're going to go over the 6 reasons that people don't buy and then come back and talk about how you can counter those reasons in your marketing before you even ask for the sale. This is an example of a couple of important concepts that I want to go over here for a moment. The first is what I mentioned before, that the things we learn about in the Quick Start Coach mentoring program are frameworks that we can use to guide our actions. When you're trying to sell something, you should break out the list of these 6 reasons and think about how to counter each one as well as possible in your marketing and sales messages. Literally use the list like a checklist in your copy. What can I say to counter reason number 1? What can I say to counter reason number 2? And so on. The second concept is that I want to remind you that when you do your marketing right, then selling becomes unnecessary. If you plan your marketing in advance and use the right frameworks like we're talking about today, you can create messages in your marketing that will eliminate objections before you even ask for the person to buy. If you answered all of these 6 reasons adequately in the marketing leading up to the launch, for example, then you wouldn't have to push as hard for the sale. They'd already be sold by the marketing before the cart even opened. Like I said, we're going to go through the 6 reasons and then come back and talk about how to counter each one. If you can get your prospects to believe those 6 counter beliefs, then the job of selling just becomes taking orders. So, what are the 6 reasons that people don't buy? Let's go through them. Number 1, they don't see the value of your product. For someone to want to buy your product, they have to believe it's going to have a benefit that is greater than the cost. If they don't believe in the value, then they're not going to buy. Number 2, they don't understand your product. Confused people don't buy. To properly understand the value, they have to understand how the product works and how it gets the results they want. This doesn't mean that they have to know every detail, but they have to know enough. Some people will want all the details. Others will be fine with 50,000-foot view. Striking a balance between the two is your job. Number 3, they don't believe you. This is where trust and credibility comes in. If you come across as a snake oil salesperson and you don't build trust or appear trustworthy, then they'll simply not believe you. If they don't believe you, then they don't believe the claims of what the transformation your product can generate, and they don't buy. Number 4, they don't think that they can do it. People underestimate their own capabilities. We all feel like we're not capable of lots of activities which we could easily master. People will make up excuses to not buy, like, I don't get social media, or that won't work because I'm a bad writer. This is the that might work for you but won't work for me syndrome. Number 5 is they don't think that they need to do it now. Even if someone believes that a product or service has value, they understand it, they trust you, and they think they can do it, there's still another hurdle. Why do they need to do it now? Can't it wait until next week? I'll have more time next month to do this right, so I'll do it then. Of course, we know what happens when people say, I'll do it later. That's code for, I'm not going to do it. And then number 6, they don't think that they have the time. Everyone has limited time. We all get just 24 hours a day. This is really a related reason to number 4. They don't think that they can do it. I can't learn social media because that's going to take time and I'm busy. So those are the 6 reasons people don't buy. Let's talk now about how you can counter those reasons before you even ask them to buy in the first place. This is where good marketing comes in. Awesome marketing sets up the sale so that it's almost impossible to lose when the buying decision time comes. Think about Apple. Their whole business success has been based on marketing so good that it makes selling unnecessary. Apple stores don't even have salespeople. You come in, look at the product, someone helps you pick the right options, and then you go pay. There isn't anyone at the door ready to convince you to buy an iPhone. The person comes into the store ready to buy. We could spend a full hour talking about what companies like Apple or Tesla do right in their marketing that makes selling unnecessary. But let's focus instead on what you can do in your marketing so you won't trip up on the 6 reasons people don't buy. If you want the sale to be easy, then you need to make sure that you've installed these 6 counter beliefs into the minds of your prospects. Always remember, the goal of marketing is to educate and motivate people. And when we educate and motivate people, what we're doing is we're trying to get them to believe the things they need to believe in order to become our customers. So these 6 counter beliefs are things that you want to install in their minds in the marketing and the communication that you have, both around the product, like on a sales page, but also in the lead up marketing and before the cart even opens. And these are the 6 counter beliefs. 1, your offer has tremendous value to them. 2, your offer is easy to understand. 3, you built up trust with your audience. Number 4, anyone can do this. Number 5, the opportunity has a time limit. And number 6, it can be done with a small amount of time investment. So now let's go into each one and talk about some ideas on how to actually get your customers to believe these counter beliefs. Let's start with number 1. Your offer has tremendous value to them. If you want your prospect to believe that your product has tremendous value, then you need to start by separating the product's features from the benefits. What do I mean by that? Features are how a product gets a result. The benefit is the actual result itself. Even better, the true benefit is the transformation that getting that result will bring. For an example, we don't have to look any further than the make money online niche to see this in action. Someone may sell a product that offers to get more traffic, but that's really just one of the product's features, not its benefits. Buyers don't really want more traffic. What they want is more sales. So it's a more powerful argument to increase the value by focusing on the benefit of more sales than it is for more traffic. However, the biggest value is in the transformation that making more sales can bring to the person's life. Imagine what your life would be like if you had a profitable online business. You don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to answer to your boss. You can travel and see the world. If you buy this traffic product and get more sales, this transformed lifestyle can be yours. The transformation that the product can bring to someone's life is the biggest emotional benefit to the prospect. Remember, people don't buy with logic. They buy based on emotions, and then they use logic afterwards to justify the purchase after they already bought it. Of course, there are other ways you can convince your prospects that your product has great value. Testimonials of other buyers who can talk about the value they got from the product is one way you can do it. We really value the opinion of other people who we see like us, or other people who we also have trust in. This is why affiliate marketing works very well for people who have an audience that they've built up trust with. Because when an affiliate emails their list and says, hey, you should go over and check out this product because I think it's really going to be great, to the person who's selling the product, the ultimate vendor, he's getting somebody who's already warmed up, who already trust has been established. When someone recommends someone to me, they may have never heard of my product before, but they trust the person who sent them to me. And that trust is then transferred to me. So they say, well, Fred wouldn't have sent me over to Matthew unless Matthew was a trustworthy guy because I trust Fred. So I get a little benefit of part of Fred's trust. So the fact that Fred says great things about me means that they should believe that my product has a great value for them as well. And of course, if they see names of other people that they know of and that they have respect for, then that's like, well, if those people saw value, then I could see great value too. The other thing is if you actually solicit testimonials and put them on the pages and the people actually talk about the value they got from it and not just, hey, you should buy this, then that also reinforces the value that your product or your offer has for this potential buyer. The other thing you can do, which of course is very commonly seen, is what we call bonus stacking. So what other bonuses can you give along with the core product that enhance the total package? If you look at my launch for Your Success Advantage and you look at the founder positions, all of the extra things you get for becoming a founder is bonus stacking. It's just one after the other, membership in this, membership in that. You get these leads, you get these people added to your list, you get 50% commissions, you get all of that is like stacking up all of the benefits that someone is going to get from purchasing the product. And of course, the other thing that you see that people commonly do is they assign value to all of those things. So they say, well, I'm going to give you this course, and I used to sell it to my audience for $995, and I'm going to give you this product, which is normally $50 a month for a year. So that's another $600. And then they total it all up, and that's $13,800 in bonuses that you're getting to buy this. You're just stacking up that value so that people see, wow, if I buy this, I'm really getting something of great value. So that's another common way to make the benefits of the purchase a no-brainer. The goal is to make the prospect believe that the benefit of buying the product is so huge that the relatively small price tag is practically like stealing it. The bigger they see the difference between what they paid and the value they expect to receive, the easier it is to make the sale. That's why very often we'll call offers that have a tremendous amount of value compared to the price mafia offers. It's the offer you can't refuse. It would be stupid to not buy this because I'm getting so much for my $47. So that you can use these different ideas and these different things, focusing on the benefits and not the features, focusing on the transformation or the effect in a person's actual life that buying this product will have for them, using testimonials and using bonus stacking to really make it so that by the time you say, hey, here is the product for sale and it's $47, they are like, wow, I can't believe I'm getting all that for $47. And if you can create that in the mind of the prospect through your marketing, then the sale becomes much easier. So let's move on to the next counter belief. The second one is you want them to believe that your offer is easy to understand. Like I said earlier, confused people don't buy. Therefore, you have to make the offer easy to understand. The first key to doing this is to ensure that you don't overwhelm your prospect with too much detail. In most cases, you want to talk about the product from like 50,000 foot view. You can't go over every detail of how it works or every feature that it has or a laundry list of 47 benefits they're going to get or 47 different things they could do with your product. That's just going to confuse people. What you want to do is you want to pick out a few key features that it has and talk about those, especially features which are different or unique from competing products. Those are the ones that make you stand out. So if you remember from our Wednesday session a couple of weeks ago, we talked about big ideas. And big ideas are all based around this idea of unique features. And we're going to talk about that a little more later. So one way you can do, other than picking out the unique features and just picking a few key things that it does that are easy for people to understand as to how that's going to create the transformation. The other thing you can do is if your product really is easy to use and master, then create a demonstration video, a screen sharing. You could use Zoom like we're using here today and create a demonstration video where you show them how easy it is to use, how to set up your own lead capture page in 5 minutes or less. Once somebody sees your product in action, they're going to go, wow, that really was quick and easy. And frankly, even if they don't watch the video, just the fact that you created a video that is titled How to Set Up Your Lead Capture Page in 5 minutes or less will help to make them believe that they can create a lead capture page in 5 minutes or less. But show them how easy it is to use. These are things you can do. So don't give them too much detail. And again, you'll see this in the launch that we're in the middle of right now with your Success Advantage, because I haven't talked a lot about exactly how all the back-end marketing works. And that's on purpose. Because if I go into the details of all the technical side of, well, this is how your links are going to be connected, and these are the 47 different programs that you can put in your links for, it's going to be overwhelming. And it's going to confuse most people who don't really get how it all works. Once they're in there, it's launched and they're in there, then I can create videos and show them how to use each section step by step. But it would take me 45 minutes to explain how the whole system works. And by the end, somebody's head would be spinning. They wouldn't be ready to buy. They'd be like, that might work for you, but it's not going to work for me. Right? And that's not what you want to create. You want to show them how easy it is to use and easy it is to understand. Now, the third counter belief that you absolutely want to try to get your prospects to believe before you ask for the sale is of course, that they can trust you. You have to have built up trust with your audience. The more trust you have, the more they're going to believe all the claims that you have. And of course, any presentation that I do is going to have the power of know, like, and trust in it somewhere. That's one of the biggest hurdles that people face working in the making money online niche, is this issue of trust. Many people in the business have bought other products in the past that did not deliver what was promised. They're very skeptical and they're very wary. The first thing you need to do to help to get over this roadblock of skepticism is to focus on what makes your product different. So remember, I said we were going to talk about unique mechanism. What is your product's unique mechanism? A good product that has a high potential for sales is going to have a unique mechanism, something about it that is different from anything else they've seen before. And this helps to overcome the skeptics because they can look at it and say, well, I've never tried that approach or product with that feature before, so maybe it'll work this time. If you just offer them something that they look at and say, well, that's exactly the same as other things I've tried in the past that didn't work, then they're not going to trust you and they're not going to believe that this one is going to work. But if you can say, wow, this one's all different than anything else you've seen before because of this feature, then that opens up the ability for them to be able to say, well, I know that I've tried a dozen products similar to this in the last year and none of them worked, but none of them had that. So maybe that is going to be the key difference. Another factor in the trust is to avoid looking like a salesperson. People don't trust salespeople to be honest and upfront about the pros and cons of the product. If you can build trust with your audience in advance, then your sales pitch can actually come across like a recommendation from a friend and not a salesperson. Trust, of course, is also enhanced by sharing success stories and testimonials of people that have used the product in the past. And as mentioned, trust is also transferred if the person who sent them to you, an affiliate, had trust with those people to begin with. You're getting the benefit of part of that trust. And then one of the most overlooked areas in trust building is the idea of risk reversal or guarantees. If you don't like it or it doesn't work, then you can get your money back. Now they don't have to trust you that the product will actually do what you said it was going to do. They only have to trust that you're going to honor the guarantee. Because if it doesn't work, it's got a guarantee. And that's why we call it risk reversal. They're not taking the risk. You're taking the risk by selling the product that it is going to actually deliver what you promise. And if you do good risk reversal, then that allows people to trust you more because they've got a backup. Well, if you're not trustworthy, they can get their money back. Trust is so important that you build up with your audience and getting them to trust in your offer and trust that it's going to deliver what you promise, that it can't be overstated. You have to be thinking about all of these things, and especially trust when you're crafting your messages. What can you do? What can you say that is going to make them trust you more and trust the offer and trust the product? Because without that trust, they're not going to buy. So now let's talk about counter belief number 4. Anyone can do this. Like I said when we went over them before, everyone believes that well, they're very self-deprecating. People believe, oh, gee, well, I'm not good at this or I'm not good at that. People spend a lot of time thinking about their weaknesses and then using their weaknesses or their perceived weaknesses as excuses to not buy things, to not take action, to not change their lives. Well, I can't do that because of this, because of that. I was never good in school. I can't write emails to my list every day. But it's mostly really just excuses. So they will come up with these beliefs as to, well, that sounds great, but your product is supposed to help me get more followers on social media, and I don't like Facebook, or I don't, want to use Facebook, or I'm not any good at that social media thing. So what you have to do is you have to break that down, and you have to show them that anybody can do it. So one way, again, like we mentioned previously, is a video demonstration. I've done video demonstrations for a few of my products that were different from what most people were used to. So when you're asking people to step outside their comfort zone and try something they haven't tried before, if you can give them a video that will show them step by step how to do it, then that makes it so much easier for them to see and understand and get over this hurdle of, yeah, that looks easy. I could do that. You want it to be easy and simple, and a video demonstration of a product can do that. The other thing that you can do here again is testimonials. Testimonials play into practically every one of these. And that, of course, is because of the good old Robert Cialdini weapon of influence of consensus. When lots of people agree that this is easy to use, then they'll say, well, if all those people said it was easy to use and they could use it, well, I can use it too, especially if they see those people as being like them. So, if the reviews on my site about my software product was Bill Gates thinks it's easy to use, everybody would say, yeah, well, he's Bill Gates. Of course, it's easy to use for him. But if the guy who's their next door neighbor, or somebody who says in their testimonial, I had never used social media before, but then when I used this product, I had this big following, and without having to learn all of the details, that's going to say to people, wow, I could do this because that guy's just like me. So any ability to be able to use testimonials can really help with that, in addition to video demonstrations. The other thing here, of course, is support. So if you can say, look, if you run into any problems whatsoever, there's a phone number you can call, or there's live chat available, or I'll get on to a conference with you and show you exactly what to do. That helps to overcome this, well, I can't do that objection. So the better support you have, and the more ability you have to be able to help them along, of course, makes it sound like anyone can do that. So these are all things that you want to factor in. Now, the next thing is that your opportunity has to have a time limit. So if you remember before, we talked about it and we said people, the reason that people don't buy number 5 was they don't see why they need to do it now. So you have to give them a reason, or multiple reasons, as to why they need to do it now. So, of course, one of the biggest ways that we do that is through using scarcity and deadlines. So we say, oh, this product's only going to be available for the next 5 days. On Friday at midnight, you're not going to be able to buy it anymore. Or on Friday at midnight, the price is going to double. And, in most of the internet marketing sort of launches, you see that they introduce those deadlines at multiple steps along the way. If you buy in the first 24 hours, you get it at this price. Then the price goes up by $5. And then for the next 48 hours, you can get it at this price. Or they'll say, we're giving you this coupon that's going to give you $10 off, but it's only good until Tuesday at noon. They're introducing these deadlines and scarcity because human beings respond to deadlines. I mean, think about it. If you were ever in college or at school, when did you write your term paper? For most people, the night before it was due. You waited until the last possible moment, and then you did this enormous flurry of energy to get it out the door. And that's because there was a deadline. If the teacher said, just get it to me whenever, as long as you get it to me before the report card comes in, then you'd be doing it 2 days before the report card comes in. Because people respond to deadlines. They put things off, they procrastinate, and they say, I don't need to do that right now. There's no reason why I need to do this now. So what you have to do if you want them to buy is you got to give them a reason to do it now. Because right now, while they're looking at the sales page, while they're hearing the benefits, while they're watching the video, is when they're going to be most motivated to do something about it. If you let them go home to think about it, come back later, I'll take a look at that tomorrow. That, again, like I said previously, is really just a code for I'm not going to do this. So set up scarcity and deadlines. And of course, like I said, the typical launch model has ability to be able to do that too. The other thing that you'll see that people do where it comes into the time limit is, of course, limited space. It's not just a deadline of time. It's like, well, I've only got 10 of these packages available. And then they'll count them down. Well, 5 people have bought, so there's only 5 packages left. Okay, now 8 have bought, there's only 2 packages left. And that's essentially a deadline, but without an actual time on the calendar. So you have limited space available. If you want one of these spaces, you need to act soon. And then, of course, the other thing is giving people an opportunity to get in early and telling people the benefit of doing this now versus waiting. If you buy this product now and you start implementing this new strategy before your competition and everybody else you're competing with, you're going to get the jump start on everybody else. You need to do this now before your competition does it so that you can beat them, essentially. So having the ability to be able to get in early and focusing on that. Look, if you're on the cutting edge of this, you're going to get most of the benefit, is also another way that you can convince people that they need to do this now. And then, of course, the last one of these items, item number 6 of the counter beliefs you want to instill in your prospects, is that it can be done with a small amount of time investment. Because remember, one of the objections is, I don't have the time to do this. So what you have to do, if you don't want them to believe that, is you have to convince them that it can be done with a small amount of time. Now, you want to think about both kinds of time investment someone has to put in order to take advantage of your product or your opportunity. And that is, first of all, there's the time to learn it. It's not just the time that it takes to, say, send an email, but you also need to know, how long is it going to take me to learn to do this? If you're trying to convince somebody to sign up for an autoresponder, well, it's not just a question of, am I going to have the time to go in and put in the emails to send and write the emails? It's also, when am I going to have the time to learn the autoresponder so I know how to run it right? So make sure that you want to think about focusing on both of those things, that they can get up and going quickly, that it's not going to take long to learn, and that once it's going, it's going to take even less time to run. So again, we'll go back. Video demonstration is a great way to be able to show this. Show them how easy it is. Show them how quick it is. Show them how they can create a lead capture page in 5 minutes or less. That's going to be something that they can actually see with their eyes, and they're going to go, wow, that is quick and easy. Also focus on how easy it is to learn. This is simple. It doesn't have all these advanced features that you don't need. Anybody can do it. Again, bring in your testimonials of people saying how they were able to get up and going in 24 hours or less, and they were already getting the benefits from it. Focus on trying to convince them that it can be done with a small amount of time investment. Same thing as well when you think about support. If you're struggling, you're not going to have to invest hours to figure this thing out. There's support there to be able to answer your questions so that you can keep going quickly and you're not wasting time trying to figure out technical details or things like that. So if you instill these 6 beliefs in your prospect before they even see your sales page, then you've made the job of selling much easier. And of course, this is exactly what the traditional launch model, if you go with something like Jeff Walker's product launch formula kind of model, where they have these multiple videos and emails leading up to the cart opening for the product, is trying to do. They're offering these educational videos which the whole goal of the educational video is to try to instill these 6 beliefs in you. Because if they can get you to believe these, then when they open up the cart, you're going to be like, wow, this is the answer to all of these things that I have been watching in these videos all week. So that's why they do, as Jeff Walker calls it, the sideways sales letter. So instead of having a sales letter that goes through all this content and it's 6 pages long, they take it and they turn it sideways, and they have one video that does the first third, second video that does the middle third, and then the last video that does the last third, and then the sales video with the actual pitch for the product. And by doing that kind of a product release, they're taking the time to instill all these beliefs. But what you want to do is you want to think about all of these beliefs in all the communication that you're having with the people on your list and with your prospects. Is what information can I share, which is going to make them believe the things they need to believe in order to want to buy the product. Now, of course, many people are affiliate marketers. And how do you apply this to affiliate marketing if you're not in control of the actual product itself? It's great for me to say, gee, you should make sure that the offer has tremendous value to them. But how do you add things to the product to give it more value? Well, part of it is just how you talk about it. But the reality is that pretty much all of these 6 things you can enhance, even as an affiliate, if you're selling somebody else's product. So when you start at the beginning and we talk about the offer having tremendous value, well, you have the core product that you're trying to get somebody to buy. Let's say it's you're getting somebody to sign up for an autoresponder. Let's use that as an example. Well, you can talk about all of the benefits and the advantages and the transformation that email marketing and having a great autoresponder can do for someone. But you can also use the other things that we discussed. You can include testimonials from other people other than the ones that GetResponse, for example, talks about. You can also add more bonuses. What other bonuses can you give that are going to enhance that core product? And ideally, those bonuses are things that are directly related. And I'm going to give you an example or two about how the bonuses you can set up can actually check several of these 6 items. So one thing that I've done in the past is I would say, if you go buy this product, then when you buy the product, you're going to get a video or the ability to be able to come to a webinar like this one that we're in, where I'm going to show you how to use it. So you're adding up the benefit and you're saying you should buy it from me, because if you buy it from me, I'm going to show you how to use it in this webinar and I'm going to answer your questions and etc. Well, what have you done by doing that? You've added to the value, which is belief number 1, but you've also helped to overcome 4, that anyone can do this because you're going to show them how. And of course, you can say you have to buy it in the next 48 hours if you want this bonus. So you've added an additional time limit, even on selling a product that doesn't ever go off sale, like an autoresponder. They can buy it anytime. Why should they buy it now? Because if they want your bonus package, they have to buy it by Friday to get the bonus package, because you're going to do the webinar on Friday. So whoever's in by Friday gets to come to the webinar, where I'm going to show you how to set up GetResponse, and I'm going to show you how to send your first email out to your list in 5 minutes or less. So you're checking those things off. Of course, by doing that, you're also helping to check box number 6, that it can be done with a small amount of time investment. So you're stacking additional bonuses on top, but the bonuses are actually helping to check off the other 5 items as well. Of course, as an affiliate marketer, how can you make the offer easy to understand? Well, you can explain it in words different than the actual sales page or the videos for the product. You can try to simplify it down and say, well, this is kind of essentially what it does. You can watch their 6-minute long video, but these are the things that I found that were really super beneficial about it were these few features. And this is how it's working for me. So that helps to make it easier to understand. And of course, trust in the product, as I said, is tied into the trust that comes from who's recommending it. So if you've built up trust with your list and you say, hey, go join this, they say, well, if John or Lisbeth or Eugene or Jeff or Lee or PJ says to do it, then I should go do it. And then they go and they take action. So, you're building up trust by trying to create an audience of people who know, like, and trust you so that you can help counter number 3 for any product you want to promote. And again, as noted, anyone can do this. You can, again, do some sort of a special training. You can offer an extra bonus that makes it easier. You can even offer to help them set it up. So I've had clients in the past who said, if you buy into this opportunity with me, I'm going to actually set up all the pages with you. We'll get on Zoom and I'll set it up and I'll link it to your autoresponder and do all that hard setup stuff that you only have to do once so you don't have to learn to do it. And they'll go, oh, wow, well, I guess I could build a list if you're going to help me set it all up like that. You're helping to counter 4. Of course, you're also helping to counter 6, that it can be done with a small amount of time. If you do the hard stuff for them, if they buy it from you, then it's obviously they don't need to worry about the time to learn all that stuff. All they have to worry about is the time to run it. And as noted, all the extra bonuses you add to it as an affiliate can all have a time limit. So you can put a deadline on products that don't have deadlines. And those are just some examples of how you can enhance and deal with these 6 beliefs and instill them in any product that you sell, whether it be your own product where you have control over the product, or whether it be an affiliate product that you're just recommending that people buy for commission. So hopefully you found lots of value in that today. Like I said at the beginning, I think the important thing you should think about is with any offer you want to make or any product you want to promote is to go through this checklist and say, these 6 reasons people don't buy and the 6 counter beliefs that a person needs to have to overcome those reasons. How can I create a custom offer or message people with emails, sales pages, etc., that is going to counter each one of these? What can I do to add value? What can I do to make it easier to understand? How can I leverage trust? How can I convince them that they can do this? How can I add a time limit that's going to spur them into taking action now? And how can I convince them that it can be done with a small amount of time? And these are the frameworks. And when you think about things and you instill these 6 things into your mind, then you think about these things when you're writing an email to your list. It's in the back of your mind is like, oh, that's gonna help reinforce that they can do this. And somebody who's really good at writing copy just has these things like these 6 reasons and 6 beliefs built into their mind, and they think in that fashion. And they've just done it through learning this core knowledge and then applying it and putting it into action and seeing how they can, different ways that they can actually take this and they can work it into an email or work it into a video. But when you think about these things, it's like the 6 principles of influence we spoke about a few weeks ago. When you know those 6 principles of influence by Robert Cialdini, you see them everywhere. It's like, oh, they're using consensus. Oh, gee, they're using liking, right? It's these things just become second nature. And you see how good marketers have worked all of this stuff into their marketing.